Hello traders, Joseph here again. Thank you so much for joining me on yet another edition of my weekly video. If this is the first time that you're watching this video, I want to welcome you and thank you so much for tuning in. And just to kind of give you an idea of what I do here, I usually put out a video like this every weekend where I show you guys a few trading setups that you might want to keep an eye on as we head into the following week of trading in the forex market. And today I've got I'm going to be looking at the euro yen. I've got a few trading setups that are setting up, and I'm going to show you guys, and also going to show you guys the results of my signal service this week, which well, I'm afraid it wasn't pretty. It was a rough week, and so make sure you stay tuned. So anyway, let's head over to the charts. So I've got the euro yen here on a daily chart, just to kind of give you see what the market has been doing really, and trying to find a good area to get involved in the markets. So anyway, the market, the euro yen has put in a bearish structure. So for those, if you don't know what a bearish structure is, then really you're in the wrong place. So basically, first of all, we got a starting point. We got an initial structure low. We got outside return, and then the market has put in a new structure low. So when the market does that, it usually just once the market puts up a bearish structure, it's usually an indication that the market is about to to turn bearish, or it's about to continue the bearish momentum. So anyway, first of all, I'm gonna delete these lines again. So the area I want you guys to focus is just this area. So I'm gonna draw a little box, but again I'm gonna delete it. So this is the area I just want to focus on. So anyway, so looking at this area, we can see that the market has been doing. This is simple and basic structure reading. So what do we have here? We had a move, an initial move, and then the market gave us a retracement or an outside return. And then the market puts in a bearish structure, forming a new structure low. So this is identical to the bearish structure that I just showed you on the same higher time frame, but different area of the chart. So once the market puts in a structure like this, like I said, you expect the market to continue its bearish momentum, and this is exactly what we got. The market put in another retracement, and then we had another move, forming new structure low. And then the market put in another retracement back into previous structure, and then we had another move down, violating previous lows, and then we got another retracement, and then another move down, again forming new structure low. But you can see that the market, look left and look at what the market has done. So the market has violated this low that that formed on a much higher. Like if you're looking at the overall picture, we can see the market has violated that lows. So what does this tell you? Like this is simple structure reading. All we can see that the market has been doing is putting in lower lows without making any higher highs. So this is an indication that the market is about to is bearish. If you know what a bearish market is, this is what a bearish market. This is a textbook bearish market. So now the question is, now we can see that the market has come back into that previous structure. So what does that tell you? Does it mean that you should just sell? Well, of course you can do that if that's what your trade plan says. But there's a lot of things that placing a trade is probably the easiest thing you could ever do in trading. Because all it involves is just you clicking a button. That's all it takes for you to place a trade. But there's a lot of things that goes behind before you place a trade. There's a lot of preparation. There's a lot of technical analysis. Like this is just a simple thing that I want to show you guys. These are the kind of things I usually go through before I actually even make a decision to place a trade. First of all, if you're able to read a structure like this, that gives you a head start, because reading this structure tells you that right now you're only looking for opportunities to get short in the market. But now you have to, this is the time where you look at your trade plan. What does your trade plan say? If you're a trend continuation, of course, the market has come back into previous structure. If you're a trend continuation trader, you would have been short in this market already. Yeah, you would have been short just right there. And guess where your stop loss is going to be? Your stop loss is going to be above this previous structure high. So if you're a trend continuation trader, even though the market has come back, a little higher than this way, you would be sitting in red right now. But it's nothing for you to worry about, really, because you entering this trade, you know that as long as the market doesn't violate these previous highs, there's nothing wrong. I mean, this is where you expect the market to reverse somewhere here, from this structure all the way to the previous high. This is where you would expect the market to reverse. So as long as the market stays in this box, then there's nothing for you to worry about, right? So what if you're not a trend continuation trader, or if you're an advanced pattern trader like me, or if you're an advanced pattern trader like me, you will look for a bearish advanced pattern to trade. I mean, we do have a bullish advanced pattern on a lower time frame, but it's not a trade I'm not going to be looking to get involved. And you hear people tell you that, oh, it's a valid advanced pattern, so why are you not taking the trade? I mean, just because a pattern is valid doesn't mean I'm going to take the trade. Because I've got a trade plan that tells me what to do. A pattern being valid doesn't mean I take the trade. There's a lot of things, a lot of conditions that have to be met before I take that trade. Sometimes you have to be selective in your trading if you want to get good results. So right now we're seeing the market comes back into. So there's enough of it. I want to draw on this. I'm going to draw a trend line here. I'm not a trend line trader, by the way, but I just want to show you something. If you're a trend line, if you're a trend line trader, then you would be looking for this market to come back and test this trend line resistance, where you would be looking to short the market, and that would be a perfectly good trade. That's if you are a trend line trader. Then again, if a trend line trader and a trend continuation trader, assuming this market comes back up to test this trend line resistance, then you would, a trend line trader and a trend continuation trader, they would both be in that trade. Even though the trend line trader is probably going to have a better risk reward ratio, but it all depends on what your trade plan says. As for me, I would be looking for this market. I'll be looking for this market on a lower time frame, and I would prefer this market to form a bearish advanced pattern anywhere below that trend line. If I see a bearish advanced pattern below that trend line, that is a trade I'm taking. I mean, you can bet your ass that I'm going to excuse my language, but I'm going to be taking that trade. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. I mean, we do. Okay, let me show you an example of a trade, of a pattern, of a valid pattern that I'm not going to be trading. Even though is going to be with the trend, I think we do have a bad pattern. Yes, we do have a bad pattern. That's going to complete just outside the trend line. It's a bearish bad pattern. Okay, let me use a different color. Yep, so we have a bearish pattern that's going to complete, but whatever happens, still going to complete within that box. But the fact that the market, this bearish bad pattern, is going to complete outside that trend line resistance, it's not a trade I'm going to be taking, simply because what does this trend line do? Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different times the market has tested that trend line and never broke through. Even though it's a good pattern, it's a valid pattern, there's nothing wrong with that pattern. It's still with the trend. We haven't violated previous structure. But then again, like I said, it all depends on what your trade plan says. But whatever happens, this market, as long as we don't violate this previous structure high, I expect this market to continue down. Because we are bearish, and look at the structure that we violated. So yeah, so anyway, that's all I've got to show you for today. Anyway, I'm going to show you a result of some of my signal service, which has, this week hasn't been good at all. So anyway, let me just take this one off, because I think there was a trade on this pair that we had on a lower time frame that ended up being a losing trade. So EURJPY, I'm going to take off all of this. And the first trade I'm gonna show you is the Aussie dollar, where we had a bad pattern that ended up being stopped out. So I'm gonna go back to the 30-minute time frame. I'll go on the Aussie dollar. So that was the trade. I think the stop loss were about 55, yeah, about 57 pips actually. So yeah, that was the trade. Like I said, what I showed you earlier was just a actually on a 1 hour time frame. So that was the trade. Yeah, the market came into that point, you know, and then, you know, it just rallied up, stopping us out for about 57 pips loss, which wasn't pretty, but again, that's trading for you. Sometimes you have to get something back. You know, you can't keep taking it. I mean, if, you know, 2 weeks ago we had a week where we had 400 pips, and then last week, we're not taking any trade because none of our patterns ended up completing. And then this week we took a step back. It happens. And this is the second trade. The euro against this British pound. Another bad pattern. So going back to the chart, euro against the pound. This was the trade. I think it was on a 30-minute time frame, but it doesn't matter. You can see, you know, the market just never looked back really. You know, it came in, triggered out order, and just went straight by it. Although this was a small loss, it was about 28 pips. I think the last one was the one that hurt the most. It was the euro yen, and I think we took a 65 pip loss on that one. So going back to the trade, euro yen 60-minute chart, euro yen. Go over to the 60-minute chart. Yeah, so we had a bearish bad pattern here. That completed trying about 26.96, exactly 26.96. Yeah, so we ended up being stopped out. I think we had our stop loss around 27.65. I think, which ended up being a 69 pip loss, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was a 69 pip loss. So as you can see, 3 trades taken this week, 3 losers. But then again, let's go back on our results. Yeah, there he is. 3 trades: the euro yen bad, 69 pip loss; Aussie dollar bad, 57 pips; euro pound bad. All bad patterns, all losers. Given a total of 150 pips, 154 pips in the red this week. So as you can see, well, the only good news was that I think we had the second position that we had on the US dollar yen ended up closing for about 90 pips profit, and the second position on the New Zealand dollar yen, the second target, closed at break even. So that brought our total for that the previous 2 weeks to 400 pips. And then yeah, as you can see, as I just mentioned, last week we had nothing. You know, all the orders we ended up cancelling it because nothing was triggered. So anyway, back, you know, reflecting back on the results, and obviously as you can see, the bad patterns, it hasn't, you know, the bad patterns, we're not really making anything on the bad patterns. So far, you know, we've got a winning percentage of 29% on the bad pattern. So that's the only pattern that is letting us down at the moment. But then again, back to so let me just take a glance at the equity curve. We can see we had this, you know, after this week, we did have a little dip. So as you can see, our equity curve is showing a little dip, which is expected. I mean, you don't expect your equity curve to just go straight up. You are going to get these dips, and this is the first major dip after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, after 8 weeks, which is remarkable. But at the end of the day, that's not what is important to me. This is what is important to me. This result, like I explained to you guys, this result, how I use this result to show you guys what keeps me in focus. And this is the main thing that I look at, the winning percentage. So like I explained to you guys with the winning percentage, this is what I look at to keep me on track. So, you know, losing 3, 4, 5 or 6 trades in a row doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you. I just look at this winning at 52%. And if you haven't seen my video last week where I used this winning percentage to show you guys how you can just make predictions based on results that you had. this is what I had last week. If you haven't, if you know, I'm not gonna go through these numbers again. I mean, if you want to see my last video, you have to go back to last week's video and look at it and see how I arrived at those numbers. So as you can see, currently we're our winning percentage is sitting at 52%. So this is where I expected to end towards the end of the year. Like I said, based on us taking 300 trades and having a winning percentage of just 50%, we'll be expected to make a profit of 69%. I mean, if things don't go that way, if we come down a little bit to maybe 45%, then yeah, we'll still be making 38% based on a 45% winning ratio. And if we do I wouldn't say that impossible, but you know. So as you can see, guys, it doesn't you don't have to have a strategy that wins you 80% of the time to make money in the trading. It's all about your risk to reward ratio on every single trade that you take. You know, it doesn't matter. Look, all we're doing right now is just being average, because 50% is just being average, and we have a return of over what? We're up 489 pips. That's over 9.5%. I mean, so we don't need a winning, but I don't even need a winning position of 6. I don't need it. I mean, if it comes, it's great. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, but following my trade plan, taking every trade that comes my way, every trade that fits the plan, I take it. But I don't aim for any, all I focus on is getting my method right, is getting the planning right. You know, everything that comes down from reading a structure to being able to establish a proper trade. You know, it doesn't. You know, that's what you need to focus on. You know. So this is it, guys. I mean, I just there's nothing I can say really. You know, because there's a lot of people out there that are being misled on what trading really is. I mean, but yeah, this is what we do with my signal services. Actually, this is I mean, that's what trading is about, really. Every single trade that I send out is a trade based on a trade plan. I mean, it's not always pretty. You know, you're not gonna come to although sometimes if we get a busy week, if the market is kind to us, we're gonna be taking 5, 6, 7, or even 10 trades in a week. But like you've seen the last 2 weeks, we've only taken 3 trades, and even the 3 trades ended up being losing trades. But what are we gonna panic after that? No, you don't panic. You know, after all, I'm only an average trader. 50%, yeah. It means I can take 50 trades and win 25, lose 25. We just came off what we had the previous week. We had 5 winners in a row. Yeah, 5 winners in a row, followed by 3 losers. I can take that any day. Any day you give me that, I'll take it. So anyway, yeah, this is it for me today, guys. I mean, if anyone is still interested in joining us, like I said, there's a link to my the signal service at the bottom of this video. So click on it by all means, and come and see how a plan is being followed, and if it's something you're interested in, then yeah, by all means. And like I said, there's also a link to my trading view. I haven't been posting on trading view this for the past, I don't know when, but I mean, I've just been so busy lately. So, but yeah, anyway, for you, if you want to see proof of how advanced patterns really work, like I said, just go on my trading view page, and you can see I've got over 100 posts there, of wonderful trades, most of them painless. You can have a look, and yeah, so this is it for today, guys. I hope you have a good week next week. I'm hoping for a good week next week, to be honest. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and if you like this video, as always, then hit the subscribe button, like, share it, anything that helps really, and I'll see you next time.